Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Shai. Kolayim La Adonai Yahweh Bashem Shai Malak Yahweh Bashem Kadash. The answer Apostle Osborne Millstone, Recitation for like Shalom. And I made title of this lesson. Esau's system is not meant for you, Jakes. And shows right here that it says how the U.S. tax code disadvantages Black Americans. And this is by Megan Cerullo, February 7, 2022, 6:01 p.m. It says, America has a racial wealth gap that is driven in part by the way the federal tax code is written, according to a law professor who has spent her career documenting racism in the tax system. Indeed, median wealth for white families is almost 8 times that of Black families and 5 times that of Hispanic families, who have been held back by loopholes in the U.S. tax system, according to Dorothy A. Brown, a professor of law at Emory University and the author of, in quote, The Whiteness of Wealth, How the Tax System Impoverishes Black Americans, How Can We Fix It? And you see right there, it also tells you that they do it to Hispanic families as well. So it shows you Latinos and Hispanics that a lot of y'all are catching the same hell almost just as the so-called black man, showing you that you're no better. So that proves to show you that y'all are Israelites too. And Esau looks at you just like how he looks at the so-called black man. And it says in quote, what the tax law does every April 15th is to see it that Black Americans pay higher taxes than their white peers because Black and white Americans engage in the same activity, but tax law impacts differently because we bring our racial identities onto our tax forms, Brown told CBS News. Tanya Rivero and Tony Jokupu. It says that the marriage tax differences in how married couples are taxed versus singles is one way in which Black families end up disadvantaged, according to Brown. And quote, when white and Black Americans get married, how we tax marriage varies depending on how many spouses work, she said. When a couple marries, their taxes can either increase or decrease. If only one spouse works, the couple gets a tax cut. But if both spouses work in the paid labor market, they'll likely see their tax rate go up. How is race involved? Census Bureau data show that white married couples are more likely to have a stay-at-home spouse and get a tax cut, whereas in Black married couples, both partners are more likely to be wage earners and therefore pay higher taxes. And then it says, Brown said she made this discovery while helping her parents, who earn less than she does, file their taxes. Quote, I'm doing my parents' taxes and I'm making more money than they are. And I'm supposed to be paying a lot more in taxes than they are, and I'm not. And I can't figure it out, she said. It wasn't until I became a law professor and had the luxury of time that I stumbled into the answer. My parents were paying so much of taxes because they were married to each other. Single file only, please, our title says. She blames the federal government, which she says has not taken steps to stop penalizing dual earner households and help address issues around tax policy and race. As a result, the tax code remains discriminatory, Brown said. But there is a fix, according to Brown. The U.S. can mix marriage considerations to tax people as individuals. And quote, I propose, like Canada and others, that we have single filing, no joint returns, so that when you get married, your tax bill doesn't change, Brown said. Seemed like that was it on that. And I'll see if I can find more information. If not, then I'll just bring out scriptures. And there's a proven fact by taxpolicycenter.org that it says marriage costs Black couples more than white couples at tax time. So, and it says on average Black couples pay more in individual income taxes if they are married, and white couples pay less, an annual advantage of $662 for white married couples relative to Black couples. Yeah. So that right there shows you. And it says on net, black couples paid an average of $148 more in income taxes due to marriage, while white couples got an average bonus worth $514. Just among those penalties, black couples pay more as share of income than white couples, 1.8% versus 1.4%. And it says black couples with adjusted gross income between $50,000 and $100,000 were more likely to face marriage penalties, 59% to 51%, and less likely to receive marriage bonuses, 33% to 44%. Black couples in this income group paid on average a net penalty of $358. White couples in this income group received on average a net bonus of $61. So it shows you right there that Esau has pretty much a better advantage in this kingdom than Jake has. And yet you Jakes out there want to hold on to this man's kingdom and thinking that this kingdom is meant for you when it's not. You know, this is not your kingdom. Other than that, it seems like that made the point clear. And I just like to bring out some scriptures, and Lord willing, make this lesson edifying to hope for elect. It says in Micah chapter 2 verse 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sword destruction. And that goes to show you that this place is talking about like the place of your captivity, you know. When it tells you to arise ye and depart, you gotta depart spiritually, because you gotta understand this place is not for you. That it's a polluted land, and it'll destroy you for soul destruction. Because wherever our people are held captive, like you ain't escaping those curses that the Most High promised that it's gonna happen to our people. I mean, in other countries it may not be as bad, you know, to some extent, but the Most High is not he's not dealing with the world like how people are trying to deal with the world. You know, people trying to hold on to the to America, and then you got people that, like, because they work in a certain type of job or so, they feel as though, you know, that they have a fancy name behind their type of occupation and the position that they hold within the organization that they work in. They feel as though like they're, you know, special. And honestly speaking, that's just, you're just another slave. Like, pretty much there was different levels of slaves in the cotton field, you know, when hardcore slavery was a thing. You had children of the plantation, which were, you know, tares, of course. And then, of course, the tares were pretty much put above, you know, the actual Israelites that, you know, had, you know, dark skin or so. But you had the tares that they had some advantages because they looked like the slave masters, you know, because like the slave master was like the father of those children of the plantation, so they gave the tares a little bit more advantages and promotions, but they were still slaves in the end of the day. So yeah, and even to now, it's like people feel as though because they have a degree that they could get a better job and have a higher income, but at the same time, it's like you're still in that financial trap, because now you got to pay back the loans that you took out to go to school, and on top of that, you're still getting taxed. So you might be in more debt than ever, in a way. So it's like this devil Esau has our people in a trap, and it's like there's no way out of it. And for those of you jakes out there that pretty much sold your soul and sold out, trying to be a celebrity, you know, doing all type of wickedness for this man Esau, y'all gonna have a rude awakening, because you know, you thinking that you escaped the curses, you're still under the curses to some extent, but you're still going to receive the worst end of the stick, because, you know, you can't escape from the Most High at the end of the day. In Isaiah 42, verse 22, it says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivered for a spoil, and none save restore." Exactly. So either way, you have like the IRS, and they be on mainly Jake, and even their own people too. They be on Esau as well. If you don't pay taxes, they're pretty much on everyone's ass. But whose ass they're on the most is pretty much Jake. And then it's like this man's system in general. His system is just designed to keep you Jakes in oppression. Then it's like Esau's so much of a demon that he will go as far as trying to get a certain amount of Jakes to be caught up in his traps. And of course, the majority of our people is gonna, you know, fall for the BS that the so-called white man, you know, pushes. And then they have all these type of presidents that come into power and say that, oh, they're gonna do this for you people, they're gonna do X, Y, Z, but at the same time, they don't live up to what they promise. So it's like they give you a false lie and a false dream, and then it's like they don't live up to what they promise you. They just all turn out to be a white lie. And pretty much like the prison houses, I mean, when I was looking at this country is like a prison for Jake in general, because honestly speaking, you have, when you go to this country, you need a passport to travel, you need an ID to go everywhere, you need all type of documents when you drive, your driver's license, you see, you need a lot of documentation just to prove you know, just to prove that you're a valid driver, just to prove that you're a U.S. citizen. And then it's like when you go to work at a company, they need your IDs, they need your birth certificate, they need your social security card. So it's pretty much like you're a slave. I mean, of course, when you go to jail, it's like the same shit too. You know, that they're gonna have to need your you know, your ID card and things of that nature, and they're gonna have to make an identification for you in jail. And when you work as well, you have like a number that pretty much goes as far as, you know, identifying you in the job in a way. Like you got a worker's number on your ID card for work. Like, so we're pretty much in a prison. And then working 9 to 5 as well. Oh, come on. And it says, verse 24, "Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it had not set him on fire round about. Yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart." Exactly. So there you have it, man. You know, you're pretty much robbed in this man's system. And the only one who's going to deliver us from that is Yahweh Shai, which is our Lord and Savior. These people in this world, man, they don't care about us. And they love seeing us in that condition. You know, and you jakes out there trying to fight for your reparations, trying to go as far as trying to get accepted in this man's system. Y'all are just lost, man. And very soon, y'all gonna be destroyed, because you're already destroyed for lack of knowledge, but the Lord's just gonna go as far as even just wiping you out, because honestly, y'all not gonna get it. The only one who's meant to get it is the 1/3. But for the rest of y'all that's out here trying to hold on to this man's kingdom, trying to do what they say in Isaiah, I believe it's the 30th chapter, yeah, and the 31st, about going down to Egypt for help. You know, y'all jakes are lost, man. Scriptures say that you can't be delivered from the Most High's hands, and honestly speaking, when it's coming to the nation of our people, the Most High has it to where, you know, we all are under the oppression. I mean, some may be a little bit more you know, wealthier than others, but in the end of the day, we're still under that, you know, oppression that we're, you know, the Israelites. It's just that some have sold out, and some have basically, you know, some have come to this truth and things of that nature. But for the ones that have sold out, they're just gonna get a further destruction in the latter end. But with that, I hope I made a lesson edifying. Let's give all glory, praise, and honor to Adonai Yahweh, Bashim Shalom, Lak Yahshua, Bashim Kadash, double honor to the apostle, Els Great Muslim, peace, I teach you, Falak, Yah, Bashim Shabbat, Bakashash, Lakwayam, Arawam, Wagoyam, Wa Ababu, Shalom.